this program and the Honorable Vice Chairman of SKE Society, Sri S.V. Shambar, Dr. Shripati, proud parents, my colleagues, and my dear student interns. We have come to the last phase of the Inspire Internship Science Camp 2018. Generally, the Valedictory program happens to be a formality in which neither the participants nor the organizers are interested. But I believe that this session is as important as any other session that we had in the last 5 days. For a simple reason that most of the times it's the parents who decide what their children should do in the future. In fact, I was fortunate to say so. I wanted to be a teacher. I became a teacher because my father did not know what was next after SSLC. But today, we see the parents who are all well informed, or rather should I say, ill informed, who think that the future of their children lies either in engineering or in medicine only. As a result, whether the kid wants to pursue engineering or medicine, she or he is forced to do so. Possibly you all know the latest in the series of a large number of victims, Miss Nagashri, a bright kid from a small village, Pasanagara, near Shimoga, who took admission to IIT Guwahati unwillingly and committed suicide within a couple of months. It is reported that she wanted to be a teacher and never wanted to be an engineer. But the peer pressure, the parents' wish that she has to take up engineering in a prestigious institution led to this eventuality. Therefore, I believe, along with motivating the students, motivating the parents as well is equally important. Therefore, at the end of this 5-day session, in which continuously I was interacting with the students, I was talking to them, I was trying to know their pulse, and I told them, it is necessary that you need to bring your parents over here, so that they also should know the different avenues which are available, in which their kid can become successful. Therefore, on this particular occasion, I see some of the parents over here, if not many. I believe that they will also learn a little from the chief guest of this particular afternoon, who happens to be a senior professor in the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research. In fact, I spoke to him. He was terribly busy. He said, see if you can change the session. I said, no. I want you to address the parents over here. I want you to tell them the different avenues which are available for your bright kid to be successful in life. He accepted my invitation. He is with us today, in spite of his busy schedule. In fact, let me tell you that I don't know whether he will be here till the end of the program. He has to rush back to Pune, and from Pune he will have to catch a flight to Jaipur. Therefore, let me not take more time over here. I, on behalf of South Konkan Education Society's Govindaram Seksaria Science College, and on my own behalf, extend a warm welcome to Professor L.S. Shashidhara to be with us over here. Welcome, sir. Thank you. At the same time, I extend a warm welcome to the president of this program, Sri S. V. Shanbal, Dr. Shripati, the proud parents of the bright young kids over here, the invitees, my colleagues, and not the least, the student interns who have been, I should say, with us all the time for the last 5 days. Once again, I welcome one and every one of you, and thank you so much.
The third case is secured by Ananya Joni, register number 047. The second place is backed by Akshata Desai. Akshata Desai, register number 107. Please come quickly. And the first place is secured by Manik Karalgekar. Register number 071. Manik Karalgekar receives the first prize in the essay competition event. Congratulations to all the prize winners. As I mentioned,
so it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. This is my fourth visit to this college, and for the same purpose, to talk to and interact with the interns of Inspire Science Camp. What I do is I just give you a brief of why you're doing this. Particularly, it is addressed to the parents, and students must have already heard about this in the inaugural session on the first day. And also, what is that, the long-term prospect for your kids in the context of the nation? Because many times, all of us, we try and look for what is good for us, what is good for our kids in our own, small little environment or small little world. But our small little world cannot be completely independent of the rest of the country, right? Because we are living in a country, and the country's history is part of our history. Country's economic prospects are part of our economic prospects, right? For example, all of you must have realized in the last 30 years the kind of change that has happened in this country. I'm not using the word development here because the change is what is. Development has a completely different connotations. But there is a change, right? Good or bad, some people have benefited, some people may not have benefited, large people have benefited. Most importantly, more than for 50% of the people who are below poverty line are uplifted, right? And most of the so-called middle class, all of us used to stand in the queue, very long queue, in the ration shops for rice, wheat, oil, sugar, and kerosene. I'm sure many, older generation people will remember that, right? It is unheard of these days, right? And even standing in the long queue for railway tickets, it's sometimes used to stand in the queue for 24 hours if you had to book a ticket in advance to go on a long journey trip, right? If we have been able to come out of all these long queues, it's also an indication that there has been some improvement in the quality of our life. How this came about, right? So, if you look at 1947 onwards, 1947 there was hardly anything in the country. You cannot blame anybody for doing this or not doing anything. It's simply because nothing to do. Only 1% of the people had science background. 10% of the people knew how to read and write, and there was no deep pockets in any business, or government itself didn't have any money. Business, there were no large business houses like today's Ambani's or Tata. Even Tatas were there, but Tatas didn't have so much money to build large factories. Some of them managed one or two big factories in the country, but that was not enough for a country of our size. We are already 400 million people in 1947. So obviously, it was a challenge. How will you make a country? How will you build a country when there are no resources? There were no human resources, there are no financial resources, right? The only thing we had was the motivation, because we had just become independent using non-violent methods, and that itself was a big motivation, because the whole world was looking at India as the future leaders. It's simply not because we had lots of resources, we are rich people, we used to make our own, powerful in terms of so-called army powerful. It's simply because we had more moral authority. The kind of independence struggle they went through, it gave more moral authority to India than any other country in post-World War. The Second World War, both winners and losers were losers. The losers are lost because they lost the war. Winners lost because they lost the moral authority. I'm sure you know those who have read the history of World War. The only country in 1950s was at a higher level of moral authority, moral motivation, and self-determination and self-righteousness, what you call. was India is simply because the way we won our independence struggle. It was purely non-violent, democratic method. And 1947 itself, we dedicated ourselves as a democratic country. 1950, when we had a republic, the voting rights was equal to everybody. Anybody, at those days it was 21 years, now it is 18 years. Everybody who was 21 years, irrespective of their socio-economic, gender background, they were given equal rights to vote. It was unheard of anywhere else in the world. America at that time didn't have equal rights to every citizen of that country. 1965, when they gave voting rights to black people of America. Switzerland gave voting rights to their women only in 1970s. Right? India, although it was a poor country, it was morally determinant, and moral authority of the country was very high. Right? This gave us the motivation that what we can do is through self-awareness, and that self-awareness comes only when you provide good education. So what we did in 1950s and 60s, we didn't have any plans. What do you do if you don't have resources? The only way you can do is at least the future generation will be better off than us. Right? Every individual, that's what they think. If I'm not well off today, somehow I'll earn some money so that my kids go to the school or colleges and they learn, and that education takes them to the next better life. Right? That's what all parents think. The nation also would think the same way. Right? You have to invest in education because the education is for the future. Right? 1950s, we started new universities, new IITs. Hundreds of new colleges were set up, agriculture colleges were set up, medical colleges were set up. All these things were basically, although it was smaller in number, it's simply because in the country of our side it was still small in number because we didn't have enough number of faculty. Right? With 1% literacy in science or technology, how will you generate so many faculty if you have to have colleges and universities in every city or every multiple places? So we started with fewer in number. I'm sure many of you in Karnataka there are only two major universities total, Dharwad and Mysore. And slowly new universities like Bangalore University, Mangalore University, and now I'm sure there are more than 20 government-run universities in Karnataka itself. But initially there was only two universities, right? But that was enough at that time because that was the kind of faculty you could get. But all the faculty of those days, they were actually coming from the research background. They were taught by researchers, they were also doing research, and the quality of the teaching was pretty good. And because of which the education, the quality was so good, they are the ones who built the new country. Right? They contributed to IT, they contributed to civil engineering, they contributed to mechanical engineering, agriculture, and using the basic science. Because when you do research, what you do is, you use the knowledge and convert it into technology. And applied research. There are two types of research. One research is where you generate new knowledge. Another type of research is you generate new knowledge, use the existing knowledge and convert into a relevant technology. I'm using the word relevant technology because there are also many times we develop irrelevant technology. Right? So relevant technology. That's the two types of research. The research that happens in the universities, in colleges, in places like Indian Institute of Science, it is mostly generating new knowledge. The research that happens in IITs or agriculture colleges or medical colleges is to convert that knowledge into new technology. It could be for healthcare, it could be for agriculture, it could be for engineering, other type of engineering services. Right? And this is what we did in 1960s and 70s and 80s. There are many, many success stories. I will not get into the details. But there is one thing mentioned, one, because everybody talks about IT, everybody talks about computer science, everything thinks that the world itself is changed because of computer science. But computer science has given only a way to connect to each other. But what it really helped is India became more prominent, right, in the face of the world. So, but interestingly, the IT industry has its roots in basic science. There is an institute called Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Bombay, and that institute is meant for what is known as basic science. Basic science you look at in physics, particle physics, or in mathematics, number theory, algebra, calculus, or in biology, talk about origin of life to what is evolution, what is a cell, how do we, various different cells build a human body like ours. These are the kind of questions they were asking. Another institute like Indian Institute of Science Bangalore also has a similar kind of research, but it has a slightly larger number of faculty. These are the people who are using computers for the research, and they actually, because those days there were no ready-made computers. You had to assemble your own computer. For every computer, you had to write your own program. Today, for example, you can buy a computer and load, a software, operating software, either from Microsoft, right, or Windows, or you can use, Google has an own operating software for computers, including your mobile and Android. Apple, computers have their own, software called, for their computers, right? These are all ready-made software. But those days there were no ready-made software. So 1960s, interestingly, the first time it was thought of was an engineering college, obviously, because they are the ones who developed technology. So when AAC and TFR were using computers, assembling their own computers, writing their own software, when the first time IIT Kanpur started using computers, they thought, because they have an engineering set of mind, they are also doing research. They thought, if I can write software for my own computer, maybe I should be able to write one generic software which runs on all computers, irrespective of what for it is used, and it may give a platform for writing other things. You may use computer for railway ticketing, you may use computer for television or radio or for some other purposes, but somewhere there should be one common operating system, and that we can develop. So in 1964 they thought of it. It took about 15 years for them to go forward in that direction, but before that, 1973, another person thought about the same thing, who became the richest person in the world, Bill Gates. Bill Gates started Microsoft in 1973. So, computer science engineering department started in IIT Kanpur in 1964, right? Before most of us were even born. And that was what the way a researcher would think, right? And all the students of computer science in 1960s and 70s, when they were coming out, there were no jobs for them here because there were no computers in India. They only knew how to write software, but if you don't know where to use it, if you don't have a hardware, there is no computer, what will you do with that? And they went abroad for higher studies. They also got jobs because there were computers in those places. They actually made new world. If you look at the Silicon Valley of world, which is called Silicon Valley US, is San Francisco. All the major companies, Intel, IBM, Microsoft, Google, all those major companies were actually the brain power behind were Indians. And those are the Indians who contributed, because they had a very good research background, they contributed to the new development, both hardware and software. And then 1980s, we also became independent in terms of food sufficiency. Right? Until 1980s or mid-1980s, we were basically borrowing food, we were importing food, and the food self-sufficiency, we achieved it in 1990s because of some geneticists thought of how to improve the crop, right, using the knowledge they were acquiring in agriculture colleges, right? And Professor Swaminathan and many other scientists contributed to this. And then Green Revolution happened. And this Green Revolution, coupled with the technology superiority of Indians, although they were not working in India but elsewhere, and that was also gave a right message to the world. They were saying that if Indians, within 30-40 years of independence, can achieve self-sufficiency in food, the country at that time were already become 800 million people. And also large number of Indians, they were actually seeing that they were working hard and contributing to the technology superiority of the world. They thought maybe there must be millions of such Indians in India. If I set up a development center here, or a manufacturing center here, or a design center here, we should be able to get their, the brain power, their skills power for their businesses. That's when this whole the concept of multinational companies started, MNCs. India has a major role to contribute to the whole world of MNCs. And they started knocking the door only in 1987 and 88. 1991, July 24, because of some financial crisis, that was also the right time to open the doors. And we opened the door on July 24 through a budget speech of then Finance Minister Manmohan Singh saying that we should be able to liberalize our economy and anybody can start their businesses in India. And that led to what we today, right? If you have hundreds of software companies, app companies, mobile companies, internet companies, manufacturing companies, and if we had not gone on, I don't think would have even dreamt of seeing hundreds of all kinds of cars, including Mercedes-Benz and BMW are there in these cities also, right? All this was possible because the way the knowledge and the research were combined to develop new technology or contribute to the technology of the world by Indians, right? But there is also a problem here. Two things are happening. One is we are not thinking as a nation in terms of how to think ahead, how to think for the future so that our development, so for now I'm talking about development or change, is in a direction which is more sustainable, right? In terms of environment, in terms of climate, in terms of inequality. Still, there's huge inequality in this country. With all this wealth, apparently close to about 300 million people are below poverty. 300 million people is equivalent to America's population. American population is about 350 to 400 million people, right? Almost equal number of people are poor people in this country, which is very, 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 sad thing about inequality. The second is the current mode of development is very unsustainable because we are not looking at the environment in the right perspective. The extreme weather conditions are, of course, it's not only India problem, it's a world problem. Global warming is global problem, not India problem. And global warming is not necessarily India generated problem, it could be generated by someone else too. But India is also one of the receivers of the impact of the problem, right? So obviously we have to do something about it. Whether we like it or not, whether we cause it or not, we have to do something about it because our own land, our own hills are, whether in Western Ghats or whatever we saw in the last 2 months, Kerala to in Coorg, and it's happening in Uttarakhand, it's happening all over the country, right? And all over the world. And also the current mode itself is unsustainable because the wealth is getting distributed, jobs are getting distributed, right? And there are new research is required for this. If you look at IT industry, the jobs are coming down, the salaries are coming down. Why is it happening? Because there's more competition from the rest of the world. India cannot keep on saying that, oh, we will manage everything for the whole world and we will be the one who is going to provide more jobs. First of all, India itself is having 1.2 billion people. So now it is becoming a place of cheap labor. Rather than superior brain power, they are coming here for cheap labor, which itself is not a good thing to happen. Cheap labor means your quality of life will always be cheap, right? You will not be able to sustain a long term for this kind of a labor force. You need to make sure that we provide our brain power, not our the physical power, just because we have more people in this country. Secondly, the other countries are also improving their standards of living, their education setup. Indonesia is becoming a IT hub nowadays, right? Indonesia is close to about 15 crore or 20 crore people. It's not a small population, right? Egypt, why so much democratic movement happened in Egypt? Because they were thinking that we are losing jobs. They can also become Silicon Valley of the world. Egypt is moving in that direction, right? So more and more countries are realizing the importance of this kind of a development or this kind of education and research. So obviously India has to be ahead of them, right? If you want to build it sustainably. Look at, for example, artificial intelligence. Why did we lose it? Because somewhere in the last 30 years, we separated science, technology, and research completely. 3 different things. Research is happening in small pockets in institutes like IISc or TF or IITs or some institute ISS or some universities, but it's not happening at a larger scale. Companies took away the best of minds, but they don't do any research. Infosys never did research. Infosys complained that artificial intelligence is taking away their jobs, they're taking their business. They cannot complain. It's they only the reason, because they never invested in research. Right? Large IT companies in this country, they never invested in research. They only took away the best people, but they themselves make best use of them. Right? So artificial intelligence is one of the newest areas in mathematics and computer science. We are losing on this, and because of which we are also losing the jobs. right? So this is the reason where we want to bring back the research in our education system, right? In research in every profession. So research is the one which helps you to think differently. Research is the one which helps you to think a long-term solution to a problem, not a short-term solution, right? If there is a rainfall, if there is a flooding in a city, you have to look for a long-term solution, not just somehow quick, make a quick fix for that solution in that particular week, and within next week another rain, or the next year another rain, it will create the same problem, maybe even larger problem, right? That's why we want to bring research in our education system, in our professional career. So these camps are organized keeping in mind that students are exposed to what is research, how research is done, how scientists think differently, right? It could be, research is not necessarily in basic science alone. It's not about stars and gravity, or not about what is in the mind or kind of a thing. It is about anything. Research in science, research in engineering, research in agriculture, research in medicine. Most important is research which develops, generates new knowledge and takes the new knowledge and develops and improves the existing technology. So this is the purpose of this kind of a camp, where students are made aware of that they should actually take up research career, not necessarily in any one particular stream, in any stream. Tomorrow they may become IAS officers or police officers, they may want to become their own business entrepreneurs, but they should use the researcher way of thinking in identifying the problem, finding the solutions, and developing an appropriate tools and methods and technology to solve the problem. Right? That's the purpose of these kind of camps, and close to about 300 to 400 such camps are being organized all over the country. 50 to 60,000 students are being benefited, and in a way they are very lucky. It's a very small drop in our ocean. Right? India has, this age group itself, there are more than 30 million students. Out of 30 million, we have been able to give this experience, this exposure, only about 50,000 students. So all the parents here are really lucky, all the students here are really lucky. Please make best use of it. Think once, is it really worth telling the student or your kids, take up a particular degree program just because there is a job available. That job may not be available tomorrow by the time they finish their degree. Their job may not give the same money that what you are thinking is giving the money to get. What is important is they should develop independent thinking, researchers' way of thinking, analytical mind. Then I am sure they will be successful wherever they go. Whatever they become, they will be successful simply because they are very analytical in mind, critical thinking in their way of thinking. And research is the one that gives that kind of ability. So if wherever they go to a particular college or an institute, if there is a research ambience in that particular place, that's the best place for education. So that's what the purpose of this kind of camps is, and I'm sure you will think about it. There are many places. I think there are circulated all the information of very different places where your students can join, right? In fact, the colleges like this also, they do research, right? It's not that there's no research in colleges. You choose the colleges in which research happens, choose the institute where research is happening. It could be IITs, it could be ISERs, or it could be universities. There are universities all over started undergraduate colleges. Azimprem University in Bangalore has an undergraduate college, right? And there are so many places you can actually tell your students or your children where they can join, where they can study what they want to study at the same time while doing research. Okay. So with this, I will stop here and thank you very much.
This is a very fabulous inspiration event I present here. I'm feeling very proud to be here. Thank you so much, sir, to inviting us. When I entered to the PUC first year, that time I'm just thinking about how to score, how to take more marks in the PUC and second PUC, and how to crack NEET and JET. But when I entered to this Inspire internship, now I'm thinking that science is not taking more marks. Science is experiencing knowledge, and it is more important that we enjoy. Science is to enjoy, not to take more marks. And thank you for inviting us here. And I am feeling very proud to be here. I don't have words to tell about this event. We all heard about heaven, but we never ever seen heaven. But I say this 5 days event and 5 days is heaven for me. Thank you so much, sir. And I have to tell you one more and very special that I loved this food, which most importantly the curd rice I never going to be forget in my life. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello everyone, my name is Ananya Joni. I am representing the college, KE Society's J. Bhagwati College, Nipani, and I am very delighted to speak over here because this camp, Inspire Camp, before speaking about this Inspire Camp, I would like to say a quote which is like, the man who moves the mountain is always beginning with by carrying the stones, small stones. So metaphorically, what I mean is, like we all interns have big goals, big dreams in our life. But in our long journey of life, such Inspire camps are small stones which motivate us. And thank you so much, sir, for having us here. And this camp has given us opportunity to learn many things. It gave an opportunity to interact with the mentors. It gave an opportunity to learn very new things which we didn't knew before. And one more special thing this camp has given to me is it allowed me to create a friendship bond with the new people. When I first entered to this campus, all the faces were new faces for me. But surely now these faces are not a new faces for me, because within these 5 days I have created friendship bond with everyone. Not like everyone, but few. And I'm very thankful for that. We got an opportunity to intermingle with each other. We shared our thoughts, we shared our views, and I'm very happy for that. And also not to forget to mention that this GSS staff has organized this camp so so nicely that we didn't get any problem. It may be food, it may be this accommodation, or it may be hospitality. Everything was very good. I liked it a lot, and thank you so much GSS staff for organizing such camp so wonderfully. And also Nagaraj Hegde sir, who was very polite, who was very kind throughout the 5 days of this function. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much GSS staff, and I have no further words. Thank you so much.
Spending his time with us. Thank you so much, sir.
From GSS College would like to speak and share my views about this Inspire Internship program. First of all, I thank Department of New Delhi, Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi, and GSS College for organizing such an amazing and inspiring program for the young and talented minds. From this program, we have learned a lot of things about nanotechnology, biotechnology, and other things, and especially by the ISRO Vice Chairman Kiran Kumar sir about astrophysics and yoga and different fields of science. We were also astonished by the inspiring talks of the mentors and will definitely imbibe them. We also had demo of various experiments and also enjoyed the project work given to us. We also enjoyed the planetarium and could take these golden memories of 5 days Inspire camp. I thank the management and all the GSS staff for supporting us in these 5 days. I thank the management for giving me the opportunity to share my views about this golden 5 days Inspire program. Thank you one and all.
Good evening to all of you. I am Neha from SDVS PU College, Sankeshwar. First of all, I would like to thank GSS College to select us for this amazing 5 days science camp. In this 5 days, we learned more about science beyond textbook. The experience we had in this 5 days that was the amazing that we never had in my life. GSS College has a very good environment, botanical garden and labs, and also proper understanding between teachers and students made get more interest about science, like asking questions and giving answers, and many of scientists came and visited and told us what exactly science is and what to do in our career and future, and also told such things that I never forget in my life about science. And I also would like to thank the management of GSS College for arrangement of staying here for 5 days, and even though we are the students of other colleges, they treated us like their own college students, took care us, and they arranged many of programs such like cultural programs, took us to the planetarium, developed interest and talent, seeing and hearing all these things. I entirely changed my mind about science. Once again, I thank all of you for this science camp. Thank you.
I will very thankful to this GSS College and the principal of this college, Nagaraj sir, because they arranged this QS program, that is the Inspire program. Inspire, what do you mean by inspire? To motivate someone to motivate someone to go to way of research in their interested field. The main aim of this Inspire program is to attract the students toward the science. We are very lucky fellows because we are selected to this program, and we are very lucky fellows because we are selected to this program, and to see all of very greatest scientists in our nation also. One thing that we can never forget in our life, that is to meet the chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization, Dr. Sir A.S. Kiran Kumar. That is a very great opportunity for us to meet the Kiran Kumar sir, and let us assume that our life is a book, then every page represents a unit of our life. Then in the world, every person had a golden page in his life. Like that, for me, this event becomes a golden page in my life. Lastly, I want to say thank you to give me such a great opportunity to share my 5 days experience with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And now it's introducing
Suzan of GSS College. I am here to give a short feedback for what I have learned and experienced from the past few days. The first day, with the ex-chairman of ISRO, Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, with his inspiring speech, amazed me the most. The project work, the various seminars given by the best people of India's reputed institutions, gave me exposure to research and light appear science. The food provided to us was quite delicious and most of all healthy. The visit to planetarium gave me a glimpse of the universe. I thank SK Societies, Govindram Sekhsare Science College for conducting this camp, and Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi, for sponsoring this camp. Thank you very much.
Myself, Milan, presenting some feedbacks about this Inspire program, which is Innovation in Science Pursuit for Inspired Research. So, we have here many people have been participated. Also, we can see even rain is participating in this program. Okay, so my dear friends and respected staff members of GSS College, we have enjoyed a lot in this program. I never thought that I will get the chance to participate in the science lectures which would change my life. But this is one and only chance or opportunity I have got from this college, that is GSS College. This inspired program showed us the pathway for the research. Many great scientists, experts had their interact with us, which gave us the idea of what developments have to occur. So friends, there is much more to happen still in this world. Arise, awake, stop not till you do the research. Because nothing is impossible. This program showed us that the science is the deep Pacific Ocean where we students are the swimmers and we go deep swimming, and that is the research.
Mr. Villain, we are only to give feedback and not another session for the participants. Please cut down your feedback.
So, last concluding, I will tell that nothing is impossible, everything is possible, because we are also the one kind of a big in this world. Because one day, just 10 seconds I'll tell, one day Newton sir told the Newton that how small we are in this world, that we are small in this world. Our world is small in this solar system. Our solar system is small in this Milky Way galaxy. Our Milky Way galaxy is small in the universe. But Newton was very chalu. So what he told, sir, how big we are, Sir, how big we are, that we are made up of the organ systems, which is made of organs, which is made up of tissue, which is made up of the cells, which cells are made by very small particles. So our body is a universe. So nothing is possible, nothing is impossible, everything is possible. This is
Thank you, Villain, for that very lively. Thank you, Villain, for the very lively and entertaining feedback. We are sure that in the next internship camp, you will be the resource person. And now, as we consider the feedback of the
members of the RISE, members of the GSS College, I am very happy that my daughter has been chosen for this internship. And when we were in our college, we did not have all such opportunities. But now they are quite lucky to have be a part of this internship. And every day she used to come with that, Madam, Mummy, today it was very good. And everything, I used to be actually worried that from morning till evening she is here, how she might be, whether she will be feeling bored or how she. But all my mummy, bath everything she would not be tired. Actually, yesterday it was very late. I got her 2 or 3 times, but she told, no, Mummy, I am not tired. I will still be there, let the function get over. That I could come to the house. And she would tell that, sir, you come and repeatedly ask. He used to take the feedback like this, sir. And she was really telling one or the other thing that she learned this, that. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.